Which brings us into our next concept. Well, not our next one, but soon to come.
If you didn't have Venus in the ascendant, it would be gay. Mercury and Saturn.
Yeah.
If.
Mercury in the second, right.
So, verse 11. When Aruda Lagna, and 7th house has unobstructed Argala, the native will be extremely well known and have great bhagya, great blessings. So Parashara says when the Aruda Lagna, and somebody told me there's only one chapter on, Argalas, Arudas aren't all over Parashara. It's like, look, right here in a whole different chapter, he mentions yogas from Aruda Lagna.
It's just a short chapter, like 2 or 3 pages. It's easy to get.
Yes.
So when you're flipping through.
Yeah, when you're flipping through.
Exactly.
And using verses that aren't even in Parashara. When Aruda Lagna and 7th house is unobstructed Argala. So the way we interpret this one. Now the 7th house, Argala from the 7th house shows the blessings you're getting from being married, from your spouse. And everybody always uses the John Kerry as an example. He rose into politics when he married a really rich woman. So that was his big jump. So we look at that 7th house Argala to see what it's giving him. So for this, from Aruda Lagna, from Lagna and 7th house, primarily what we do in our school, in the Achyuta Parampara, is we look from Atmakaraka, from Lagna, and from Aruda Lagna. And we're looking for a planet that has unobstructed Argala from all of them. So let's see. We saw Mars and Venus are giving unobstructed Argala to the Lagna there, right? From the Aruda Lagna, it's giving Viparita Argala. So that's making it more powerful. So that Mars becomes powerful because it's giving Argala to both the Lagna and the Aruda Lagna. But from Atmakaraka, it's not. It's giving Virodha from Atmakaraka. So it's going to be powerful, but not as powerful as it could be. Everybody seeing? So during the dasha of Mars, she'll be able to attain lots. Because Mars is giving multiple Argala to multiple points. Let's see. Does she?
AK is Mercury?
AK is Mercury. So let's see, is there a planet? Let's see if we can find a planet that's giving Argala to all 3. Moon is not to Aruda Lagna. K2 is not to Lagna. Not with that Atmakaraka, huh? Rahu? Nope, because it's obstructing from the 5th from Atmakaraka. She has a lot of planets that Rahu is giving unobstructed Argala to, well, not unobstructed. So Rahu and Ketu, if you notice, they're always in the same part of the sign. So how much can they obstruct each other?
25%.
Only 25%. Mm-hmm. So in this case, from Lagna, Ketu is obstructing Rahu. By how much?
25%.
Only 25%. So that Argala of Rahu is there 75%. So she has 75% of the work being done by other people. Okay? And she does 25% of the work. That's the general way to look at that. So is everybody getting that concept of looking for a planet that has Argala from both Atmakaraka, Aruda Lagna, and Lagna? If the planet from Lagna and Aruda Lagna is giving Argala, then it's going to be very powerful in that dasha. From Atmakaraka, it's showing the attainment of our soul's objectives. Karakamsha shows the soul's abilities. That's in Navamsha. But in the Rashi, it's showing the soul's objectives. What does the soul want? So a planet giving Argala shows the soul's objectives. From Lagna, it shows your actual objectives that you have physically in this world. And from Aruda Lagna, it's your social objectives. When those things all line up, and one planet is fulfilling all of them, it's powerful. It gives bhagya. If one planet is giving unobstructed Argala to 2 of them, it's still very powerful. So In this way, we can see with Argala what planets become very powerful to give these kind of results. Okay.
So the Atmakarka, the Aruda Lugna Atmakarka connection, it has to do with social objectives, did you say?
The Aruda Lugna has to do with social
Okay,
objectives.
so you look at
Atmakarka is your soul's objectives.
Okay, so did you say you look at the Atmakarka from...
Imagine if what your soul wanted to do and what society wanted you to do were the same thing.
Okay.
Or what you needed to attain your objectives of your soul were the same as what you needed to obtain your objectives in the world. Becomes very powerful. That planet will both attain objectives for both. Generally, we're split. We're doing this for ourselves. We're doing this for our partner. We're doing this for social reasons. We're dividing our energy up. So that Argala planet becomes one planet that one action is going to attain contentment and success of objectives for all those points, or some of those points. Okay.
So the Rashi is the worldly objective.
Yeah,
Okay.
Lugna. Okay, Kathy, you got to interpret this next one. A planet having a malefic or benefic giving unobstructed Argala and aspecting the Lugna will make one rise. A planet having either malefic or benefic Argala, unobstructed Argala, and aspecting the Lugna will make one rise. Why? Don't read, come on.
I'm just reading the way I'm not reading
The translation, okay. You had a question about this once and I answered. That's why What is a planet when it's aspecting the Lugna? Has a special name. When it's aspecting the Lugna. Lugna, Gatika, Lugna, Hora, Lugna.
Oh, Yogada.
Becomes a karta. Becomes something that can do something for you. Yeah. So when an Argala planet, when a planet that has Argala is aspecting the Lugna, then it can really do things for you, can't it? So when a Yogada has Argala, it becomes even more powerful. When a Maha Yogada is giving Argala, it can really... What if the Maha Yogada is causing obstruction? How much can it really give? Okay.
So in this case, which planet should be aspecting the Lugna? The one that's getting Argala or the one that's giving Argala?
Both. It's showing what the planet can do for you. A planet having malefic or benefic giving unobstructed Argala. So the more the planet can achieve its own gains, the more it can do for you. The more powerful that planet is to attain its objectives, the better it can do for you. The more that planet is powerful it is in its own natural state, the more it can do for you, giving its own Argala to you. So both ways. The big thing is the connection to the Lugna means for you. It can work for you.
So in George Bush's case, he's got 3 or 4 planets in the Lugna. So all those getting Argala and giving Argala, that's what...
To his 10th house, they're giving 4th house Argala. So it's great for his career. Right?
Right.
For different things, it's doing different realities. We see that moon Jupiter there giving obstruction from the Lugna. Do you see that? Gejikeshri causing obstruction. K2 is his planning. 5th house is your planning for the future. Is K2 giving Argala for the... That's his planning. His planning is K2. Let's go bomb him and figure out what to do next afterwards.
Serious planning.
Exactly. So it's giving Argala. It's getting the job done. It got us right in there. He wanted to go to war. He got the war.
Yeah.
Wasn't the best thing to do, but that's how he got us in there. He got us by going in headlessly. So we'll attain our goals through whatever that planet significates.
How does the Gajikeshri obstruct?
It's in the 3rd house, and they're both benefics.
Oh, all right, okay.
And it's a Marnakarka Sthana Jupiter. So it's a dying Jupiter. So in that all the dying and killing that's happening is obstructing. Well, to get the job done better. In some ways, it's showing that he's
A nice person?
yeah he's nice
A
to
passive
people.
person.
Yeah, he's more passive. We got to also look from Aruda Lugna, and we see third from Aruda Lugna is ruled by Saturn, and 11th from Aruda Lugna is Moon Jupiter. So even though he's passive as he is, but that passivity, because it's 11th from Aruda Lugna, means he's making money off of that. That passiveness is allowing him to make money. Interesting. But do you see how I'm reading it from both points? That same thing that's blocking him in one area, he's making money off of.
So he's not being successful in winning the war because it's not giving him success for that. But he's making money off having a continuing war.
Okay.
Do debilitated benefic planets qualify for?
Debilitated benefics. It's still benefic.
Oh,
It
so
just-
like
it just won't be
Saturn
as
and-
good.
I mean, like Jupiter and Capricorn, the third would.
Well, in the third, you're talking about a debilitated Marnakarkastana planet, which is a whole nother story, so let's not go there.
Well, I mean, yeah.
It will give the Argala or obstruction relative to what it significates.
Oh, so whatever that. Yeah. Okay. Got it.
Okay.
Yeah.
So just remember, exalted Mars will fight the right way. A debilitated Mars will not fight the right way. It'll have some, anger problems and issues, but through those anger issues, if it's giving Argala, it'll achieve its goal. I mean, I'm sure you've given somebody something just so they don't throw a fit. So, there's different ways that Mars is going to get something.
Right.
So, okay. So we see the Karta happening here. The Karta and the Argala with the Karta, how that same rule is being...
So you shouldn't make any pronouncements until you really see the Argala. If you see somebody has a Mahayogana,
When we see the Yogadas, we should look at Argala. When we see Raj Yogas, they have this incredible combination. Look at the Argalas to that Raja Yoga. Is that Raj Yoga being obstructed or not?